essential to life, but it's also something that so many of us here in America take for granted. Imagine how different your life would be without access to clean water in your home. What if you had to walk to the nearest creek, stream, lake, or pond to get water? Suddenly, going to work and school wouldn't be an option because you and your children would have to spend your days collecting water. This is the day-to-day reality of most families living in the world's poorest countries. But what if I told you that you can change that reality for just pennies a day? Through our water projects, Food for the Poor is working to meet the need for water in 17 impoverished countries. But it won't happen without you. Incredibly, it only takes $15 to provide a child access to clean water for life. $15, decades and decades of access to water for a child. Give the life-changing gift of water now. Just text USA Radio to 91999. Text USA Radio, all one word, to 91999.
The huge impact farmers have been making when it comes to reducing greenhouse gas emissions. That's coming up on This Land of Ours.
I'm Agriculture Commissioner Nikki Fried. Everyone knows Florida grows the world's best produce. From citrus to strawberries, watermelon to blueberries, our produce growers feed our families and the world. With over $125 million in annual revenue for growers, the Fresh from Florida program helps Florida farmers stay competitive in a tough marketplace. Learn more at followfreshfromflorida.com.
Can we bring it back, Doctor?
Yes, but we have to keep it covered, Igor.
Understood, Doctor.
And be sure to keep living roots in it throughout the year with diverse plants and rotations. And remember, do not disturb it.
Are you mad, Doctor?
No, just a little upset. I don't like to see soil treated like dirt.
Learn more about the basics and benefits of soil health. Contact your local USDA Natural Resources Conservation Service office today.
Since 1990, the U.S. population has increased 31% from roughly 250 million to 329 million in 2019. With more people comes the need for more food, and more food production could also mean more greenhouse gas emissions. However, since 1990, the Farm Bureau reports that America's farmers have managed to increase pork, milk, and beef production while cutting the greenhouse gas emissions required to provide each of your meals by 24%. Roughly 10% of U.S. greenhouse gas emissions come from agriculture, including transportation at 29%, electricity at 25%, and industry at 23%. Looking ahead, farmers hope to make an even bigger impact with more on-farm carbon capturing practices, from cover crops to anaerobic digesters. I'm Kathy Isom, Southeast AgNet.
When it really counts, depend on the source for the latest weather updates, keeping you ahead of the storm. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
Today will be sunny to partly cloudy with a shower this afternoon. High today 76 to 84. Then expect the showery weather this afternoon to continue through this evening with a passing shower. Otherwise, mostly cloudy tonight, low 60 to 64. Tuesday and Wednesday both should be nice days with clouds and sunshine. High tomorrow 79 to 81. High on Wednesday 80 to 85. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Holly Holdren.
You know what you want to do in retirement, but do you know how to get there? Join Gary and Don Crawford of Pinnacle Retirement Advisors for Retirement with Pinnacle, Saturday mornings at 9 to get answers to your retirement planning questions. Plan today so you can do the things you've always dreamt about doing in retirement. Don't miss Retirement with Pinnacle with Gary and Don Crawford, Saturday mornings at 9. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
New arrivals and new savings are waiting for you at Blockers Furniture. With over 80,000 square feet of the best selection and best prices you can find on furniture, mattresses, home accents, accessories, and more. And with new trucks arriving weekly, Blockers has the best available in-stock selection. Unlike many other furniture companies that will have you waiting for months to get what you want or need, come see everything that Blockers has to offer. Blockers Furniture, 2402 Southwest College Road, next to Hobby Lobby.
This hour of Ocala Talks is brought to you in part by Blockers Furniture. Go see all their specials at blockersfurniture.com.
This is Ocala Talks with Tom Schmidt, bringing stories that are important to our community in and around Ocala. Plus, of course, a splash of sports as well. Now, here's your host, Tom.
Welcome back to Ocala Talks. On a Monday, had a lively discussion so far this morning with callers on the telephone. Let's go back out to the phone lines. Good morning. You're on Ocala Talks.
Good morning, Tom. It's Sunny again. You know, I forgot to mention one other little thing with electric cars. To support a 220 charging system, you have to probably going to have to upgrade your service. Now, that's quite a little expensive deal because you got to do it from the, from your panel to the garage or wherever it is you're going to have this charging unit. But overall, you might have to upgrade the entire panel, which is not cheap.
You may have to on the existing homes. A lot of the new construction, builders are starting to put those in the metropolitan areas, not in outlying areas, but in metropolitan areas. A lot of new construction is coming with charging stations already built in the garage.
Well, they have the outlet for a charging station, but these charging stations aren't exactly cheap either. But the big deal is you need 220 volts, and you need somewhere around 30 to 50 amps to charge one of these things today. Don't forget, we're not talking about a hybrid. We're talking about a full electric car.
Right.
So the battery is, or batteries are quite large when you figure it out. So anyway, always my 2 cents worth there. Have a great day.
Thanks, Sonny. There's a lot of questions still to be answered with these electric cars. But, they got 13 years now, which is just around the corner in reality. But they got that long to get it ready. 13 years. 13 years. 13 years to get it ready. Hey, over the past 2 years, it's easy to say that the comparisons with how Florida handled COVID and how New York handled COVID has been like a case study. And, Governor Cuomo, before he got disgraced because he was a pervert, he always compared how he was doing a great job and that guy down in Florida was killing people and everything. And it was an ongoing thing back and forth. Well, now there's been a study that comes out where some scholars have looked at New York, how they handled the pandemic, and Florida, how they handled the pandemic, and which one handled it better. New York embraced the mask mandate, stringent precautions requiring proof of vaccination, masks in public locations, private businesses. So we know we live in Florida. We didn't have any such mandates. We didn't listen to the recommendations by the CDC about forbidding, about having to wear masks and vaccine requirements. Infection rates and hospitalizations caused by the Omicron variant of COVID-19 is abated in both states. The New York governor has extended COVID emergencies for another month at least. Now, Governor DeSantis in Florida held a press conference about a week and a half ago, inviting the world to visit Florida for a vacation to freedom, touting the state's lack of restrictions. There are arguments on both ends on which state handled the pandemic better, but here's what the data shows. Both states are similar in population. There's 21.7 million in Florida, 20.2 million in New York, so about a million difference, but still close. That according to the 2021 census. Also similar to the death tolls. As of February 21st, COVID-19 has claimed 68,955 lives in Florida, 66,466 in New York, around 2,000 difference. Almost 2,000 New York deaths occurred in the first month of the pandemic. During the past 2 years, people in both states have suffered losses, family, friends, job, corner bistro. The lives of people in both states have been changed forever. But let's look at the statistics. In early 2021, just a few vaccines were becoming widely available. Florida had fewer reported deaths than New York did. By the fourth quarter of 2021, deaths in Florida had surpassed those in New York, but they still were within 1,000 or so. In early spring of 2021, 29% of Florida residents, 31% of New Yorkers had at least partially been inoculated. That gap is now 89% of New Yorkers, 79% of Floridians, so it stayed about the same. Florida reported more than 1.2 million infections as the Delta variant ripped through the state during the third quarter. Now, New York, only about a third of those cases. During the fourth quarter, as the death wave left Florida and headed north, New York recorded more than a million new infections, while Florida's increased by about 500,000. So they flip-flopped. Since January this year, as the Omicron variant engulfed the nation, Florida recorded 1.5 million new infections. Wide open state, 1.5 million new infections. Closed state with restrictions, New York, 1.44 million. So almost exactly the same number. So where we live and the different approaches to the pandemic taken by state leaders, it's shaped how we live. It drew New Yorkers and Floridians into vastly different pandemic realities. But when the USA Today Network did this deep dive into the COVID cultures of the Empire State and the Sunshine State, it showed that both approaches generated about the same numbers. So if that's the case, freedom wins. I mean, think about that. Since January of this year, as Omicron engulfed the country, remember Omicron was so contagious, Florida's had 1.5 million new infections. New York's had 1.44 million new infections. New York's been on lockdown with mask mandates in public, in private. You've had to show your vaccination cards to get in places. Their Omicron outbreak is almost the same as Florida's, who had no such restrictions. When Florida, in the first part of 2021, when the Delta variant ripped through the state during the third quarter of 2021, Florida had 1.2 million infections. New York had about 400,000, about a third. During the fourth quarter, the next quarter, the Delta wave left Florida. New York had over 1 million cases. Florida had less than 500,000. Kind of flip-flopped. So I would say it's a clear win for Governor DeSantis and his approach to the way he handled the COVID situation. Both states similar in population. The death toll has been within about 2,000, same in New York and Florida. 89% of New Yorkers and 79% of Floridians have gotten the shots as of February 22nd. And since the beginning of this year, Florida's recorded open for season, recorded 1.5 million new infections. By the way, AOC being one of those infections, because she came down to party New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. New York's experienced 1.44 million, so almost the same numbers. So they've lost their economy. They've been on lockdown. Kids have been suffering with school for 2 years. Social interaction all has been zero in New York. It's been wide open in Florida. No, very, very few restrictions, if any. But the numbers are about the same. It's what the governor had been telling us the whole time, was that staying inside and locking down and not going out and working and everything is not going to make a difference. Because people are going to be people. Even though New Yorkers weren't allowed to go to restaurants and they weren't allowed without their passport to go to movies and events and all like that, relatives still went and saw relatives. Friends still went to friends' houses. People still interacted. They just didn't do it in the streets. They didn't do it in public venues. They still passed on the infection at about the same rate Florida did, and at times more than Florida did. So what Governor DeSantis has been telling us the whole time was that being open versus being closed the numbers will show there's not a difference. That if you're closed, you're still going to get the infection. People are still going to die. The death rate in New York, the number of deaths in New York, what was it here? 66,466 deaths in New York, 68,655 in Florida. So 2,000 difference. Tom, that's a marked difference. Not when these numbers are that big. When they were on lockdown and Florida was wide open, Florida only had 2,000 more deaths when this was supposed to be, if you didn't lock down and you didn't, do all the mandates, it was a death sentence. Well, it doesn't seem to be so. It seems to be that New York lost almost as many people as Florida did by doing all the mandates and the lockdowns. You're going to start seeing more and more statistics like this, folks, coming out. It's going to put us in a worse light for locking down. I just see it coming. I just see it coming down the track. Take a break. Come back. More of your phone calls. 622-9622 is the number to call if you want to be a part of the program. This is Ocala Talks, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
The Ocala Golf Club, one of Ocala's premier golf courses, from its pristine 18-hole course layout to its amazing pro shop. Jason Linhart and the staff at Ocala Golf offer everything that you need for your golf outing. That's the Ocala Golf Club. Experience country club style golf at municipal prices. You won't go wrong with the Ocala Golf Club. Call them for a tee time today, 352-401-6917.
Hey there, I have a question for you. Is your roof asphalt and does it look like it needs replacement? Did you get quotes and were you in sticker shock? Would you like to save not hundreds, but thousands of dollars? Did you call RoofMax? Well, call RoofMax with their patent-pending technology, which can add years to your roof without needing to replace it. And it's easy. You just pick up the phone for a free quote. Plus, they use state-of-the-art satellite technology to measure your roof. So, if your roof is over 7 years old, then you should call RoofMax today at 352-639-2777. That's 352-639-2777.
Hello, gorgeous.
Hi, this is Becky at Hello Gorgeous Salon. It's time to get that new look started. Let's get rid of those sun-damaged ends and faded out color and get into something rich and vibrant. Humidity is not your hair's friend. It causes your hair to capture moisture and leaves it looking dry and unhealthy. Hello Gorgeous is a certified Brazilian blowout salon. We can tame those locks, leaving your hair healthy and shiny with a Brazilian smoothing treatment. So let us help you make a great first impression. Call us today to set your appointment at Hello Gorgeous. Our number is 352-351-5358. Again, that's 352-351-5358. And don't forget, we also do men and children's cuts too. 351-5358. Hello Gorgeous is conveniently located in the heart of downtown Ocala. So call today and set up your appointment at Hello Gorgeous Salon at 351-5358. That's 351-5358.
Hello, gorgeous.
Each morning, we wake up thankful to live in a free nation with liberty and justice for all. But sometimes those liberties can be put in jeopardy, and you may have questions about what to do or who to call. Let Doc Blanchard of Blanchard, Miriam, Adele, and Kirkland help you find the answers. Attorneys at law since 1974 and located in downtown Ocala. If you have legal issues, don't go it alone. Call 352-732-7218. Blanchard, Miriam, Adele, and Kirkland, helping protect your liberties every day.
Think you know Dex Imaging? Think again. In the office, streamlining communications. In the field, delivering top-notch service, enhancing productivity and reducing downtime. In the data center, a part of the growing digital document revolution. In the world of business, supporting entrepreneurs and helping companies grow. In the forefront of technology, developing cutting-edge document management solutions. So if you think you know Dex Imaging, you don't know Dex.
Get it for less at the DIY Home Center outlet. Get top quality real wood cabinets the same or less than the big box stores are selling the cheap stuff. And that's not all. Drywall screws big box stores are $6.47 a pound. At DIY, only $4.99. Plus, DIY has the largest selection of mobile home parts and accessories anywhere. From carpet to doors, get the DIY supplies you need for less. The DIY Home Center outlet. We are your building material closeout store. 2191 Northwest 10th Street, just 2 miles east of I-75.
Good credits, bad credits. It's none of our business because we're not an auto dealer. We're not a bank. We're not your mother. We're OcalaForSale.com. Marion County's marketplace for cars, trucks, and SUVs. We've got thousands of sellers standing by to take your call. No middleman. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to OcalaForSale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge, undercutting, rust-proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
Shamrock Security Systems, 629-3223. Shamrock Security Systems is located here in Ocala, Florida. Shamrock Security Systems is a top-rated alarm company offering 24/7 monitoring, video surveillance, fire and flood protection. You'll sleep a little better once the job is done. Shamrock Security Systems for over 31 years. 629-3223. Get a 100% free quote from Shamrock Security. 629-3223.
Get out there to North Central Florida's largest RV show, the Ocala RV Show, Thursday, March 3rd through Sunday the 6th at the Florida Horse Park. 11 dealers, hundreds of RVs, lifestyle booths, daily door prizes, entertainment, and fun for the whole family. Adults $5, kids under 16 free. And Thursday only, buy one admission, get one free. Military and first responders save $2 every day. Thursday through Saturday, 9 to 5, Sunday, 10 till 4. The Ocala RV Show at the Florida Horse Park.
It's Monday. Not sure how you did it, but you actually survived an entire 2 days without hearing from Tom. Good job to you. And once again, good luck.
Welcome back to Ocala Talks. I told you the stock market would take a dive. Futures have said it would take a dive because the ruble has become worthless, less than 1 penny for a ruble. And the stock market opened, it's been opened a little less than an hour. The Dow Jones Industrial Average down 457 points. The S&P 500 down 48 points. And the NASDAQ down 81 points. So they can still rebound, but it just shows you that the world economy is paying attention to Russia and Ukraine. And the ruble dove over the weekend. As sanctions hit Russia, the ruble fell to less than 1 penny is what a ruble represents. To give you perspective of that, let me see what the peso's usually about a nickel. The peso's usually worth about a nickel against the U.S. dollar. And it's always thought to be, what is the peso to the dollar? Yeah, it's right at a nickel. So the peso is much more, 5 times more valuable, a little over 5 times more valuable than the Russian ruble right now. And that's going to affect the stock market. Russia is still thought of as a superpower. Mexico is not. But yet Mexican currency is more valuable right now than Russian currency. Costs you more to go to Mexico if you're Russian than it costs a Mexican to go to Russia. So that's where we're at with the ruble, and that's why the stock markets have all opened much lower. And we're going to see what happens over the week, over the day with this peace talk. The negotiations that are going on at the Belarus-Ukrainian border are very important because it's going to lead to whether we get a ceasefire or not. And like Galen said in hour number 1, if we get a ceasefire, if a ceasefire comes out of this and it's a true ceasefire where the Russians actually lived up to it and so do the Ukrainians, that's a win for the Ukrainians. Because a week and a half ago, people thought the world, Galen even said when he was on, he goes, what do you think the Ukrainians are going to do with the Russian military? The Russian military is one of the largest in the world. What are they going to do? Are the Ukrainian people committed to fighting the Russian military? Yes, they are. We see that now. And this wasn't, Putin envisioned he would go in 2-3 days, have this locked up. Well, it's been 5 days now, and he's advancing, but very slowly. I didn't think that anybody understood the resistance of the Ukrainian people. So, and the sanctions that were put on Russia and everything has hurt the Russian economy. Putin tried to, transfer money and everything before the banks opened today, but then all this over the weekend shut all that down. And that's why the ruble plummeted to less than 1 penny. The Russian central bank has raised its key rate from 9.5% to an astronomical 20% to try to shore up the ruble and prevent a run on the banks. That's not going to do that. That's not going to work because you don't have access to money. So, once the Russian central bank access to over $600 billion in reserves has been shut off now. What does a weaker ruble do in Russia? Well, it makes inflation go through the roof. That may anger the Russian people because their budgets aren't ready for that. It'll put a strain across the financial systems in Russia because right now the ruble's in free fall basically. And where's it going to end up falling? There's no way to tell. Depends on how these sanctions work. Just Putin's going to have to accept that it looks like Western powers are prepared to accept some economic pain just to punish Russia. You saw that with BP saying, yeah, our stocks are going to take a hit, but we're pulling our 20% partnership with Russia. We're pulling it. Yeah, we're going to lose 20% of our oil intake, but we're 20% of what Russia supplied. Russia supplied 20% of what Russia exported went to BP. BP's going to forego that now. That's going to be the difference in this situation is big corporations that stop doing business with Russia. That's what's going to have to take is big corporations not to do business with Russia anymore. Hit them in the pocketbook. You always find the money, follow the money. That's the quickest way to a solution is through the money. And that's what's happening. Oil prices surged Monday. The crude up $4.02. It had lost $1.22 per barrel on Friday, but it's up $4.07 now, approaching $4.50 by the end of the day. Is what people are, projecting. So this is going to get worse before it gets better. And the U.S. economy is going to take a hit, the stock market, but not a sizable hit, I don't believe. So the quicker this gets to a ceasefire, though, the quicker everything rebounds. I know that for certain. Take a break. Coming up at the bottom of the hour, the news from ABC. It'll be coming up right after this time out, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Broadcasting from the Ocala International Airport, this is WOCA AM, W242CA FM, Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
USA Radio News with Lance Pry.
Day 5 of the Russian